hello fellow witches and wizards! Today I will be showing you different DIY Harry Potter projects that are very easy to make and also don't require too expensive materials, so hopefully you enjoy. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. Also comment down below what Wizarding World animal would you most likely have as a pet. That can include like the normal cat, dog, owl, whatever, but it can also extend to like fantastic beasts like hippogriffs or that kind of thing. Personally, I would love to have a pet owl. Like, I think owls are so cute and I just think it'd be adorable to have like my own little barn owl or something with me. But if I were to go the more route of Newt Scamander, I would pick either a bowtruckle because Pickett is the cutest thing ever, or I would choose a demi-guise, like the really fluffy, super cute one that like turns invisible. I think he's the cutest thing ever and I love him so much. So I would pick one of those two. Anyways, without further ado, let's just operate right into the video. So for supplies, you're going to need some type of fluffy boa stuff. I found this at Michael's. It's basically a wire with fluffy pink stuff all around it. You're also going to need some black 3-dimensional paint, a hot glue gun, and also some felt in white or pink. To make the body of the pygmy puff, just start folding the wire and wrapping it around itself until it makes a ball shape, and then it'll be a fluffy little ball and you can get it to the right size, trim the excess, and then just tuck the excess back into the ball and you're done. Since this pygmy puff is more for decoration, there's still wires on the inside so it's not completely squishy, but it is nice and soft on the outside. Once I was finished with the ball shape, I realized the fur was getting a little wild, so I decided to give my little pygmy puff a haircut so he can look nice and sharp as I start adding on his features. This is optional, but I feel like it looks a little cleaner, I guess is the word, instead of like super chaotic. Now that his body is done, we can take our white felt and start making his face and other features. So basically, to make his face shape, you just need to cut out a heart big enough to the size that you want and then round out the bottom and make it more circular, as you can see me doing here. So this is basically the shape, kind of like a bean for his face. And then I took the black 3-dimensional paint and I made 2 large dots for the eyes and then a little heart nose with a line connecting from the bottom of the heart, and that's his face. If you're using 3-dimensional paint, I do recommend that you leave this to dry for at least a few hours because this paint takes a while to dry and you don't want getting black paint everywhere. While we're waiting for the face to dry, we can start cutting out his other features. So you're going to need 4 little ovals for his feet, and then for his ears, you're going to need 2 half ovals, if that makes sense. You'll see later. And then also tiny little pink ovals to go inside of those ears. So before I put the ears on, I glued the pink part inside first, so that way they were all ready to go. And after I did that, I glued the face on, and then I glued the ears on right next to him. Then I took those 4 ovals and just placed them around the bottom of his body to make 4 little feet. You can also probably add little like paw things at the bottom of his feet, but I kind of like them plain as is. And yeah, I think it looks super cute. I love him so much. He's adorable. Again, he's more for decoration because he's not completely squishy or stuffed animal like, but I think they're adorable. For this project, you will need felt colors in the color of your Hogwarts house in patch form, a wooden dowel, some black paint, and some hot glue. So the first thing I did was take my wooden dowel and paint the whole thing black. This is going to be the little handle part of your flag, and I just let that completely dry before I did anything else. So next I'm going to measure out how big I want the flag to be, and I also measured where I want the indentation of the triangle to be. I messed up a few times, so I had to redraw it a lot, but the good thing is this is going to be the back of the flag, so you hopefully will not see it unless I like turn it around. So yeah, basically I just use a ruler to make straight lines to connect everything and make a triangle part in the middle, and then I cut the whole thing out. Next, I took my secondary color, which in this case is gold, and I placed that on the back of the flag, and I pinned it so I would know that it would stay in place, and then I trimmed the excess to make sure it fit perfectly on that triangle part and in the middle of the flag. So unfortunately for me, my gold fabric was not long enough to fit my flag, so I had to cut out another piece to fit at the end, but I made it work out in the end, so it's all good. So I did the same thing to that piece, basically just trimmed it and put it on. So you could sew this, but I don't have very good sewing skills and I don't have any sewing materials in my dorm room, so I'm using good old hot glue, and I'm basically just hot gluing it all piece by piece to make sure it's completely sturdy and on there. For the back piece, I made sure to glue it as close as I can to the edge of the front one, just to make sure it looks as seamless as possible and not like it's two pieces. I also added a little strip of gold and then another strip of red at the end just to hide that seam. Again, this is optional. This is just because I didn't have enough felt and I had to improvise, but I still think it looks pretty good. So the final step is just to glue in your painted dowel. So I started by marking where I wanted it to be, and then I hot glued it and then wrapped the excess felt around it because I feel like it looks cleaner. Then just glue in your crest patch and you were done. So easy. Compared to like the $15 ones they sell at the Universal store, I feel like this is a pretty good dupe. So you're obviously going to need some keys. I found a whole set of these on Amazon, as well as some printed out images of butterfly wings or dragonfly wings, whatever type of wings you like, some clear plastic material which you can find from recycling old containers, some Sharpies, and some clear gift wrap tape. It has to be the clear kind or else it'll look kind of foggy. So basically just place your clear plastic over your printed images and use your Sharpie to trace all the wings. You might have to do 2 coats just to make sure it's more opaque. Once you have them all cut out, you can use your scissors to cut all of them. You can leave a space in the middle because we're going to be folding it anyways. So just carefully cut along the Sharpie lines. Once they're all cut out, fold them in half and then place the key where you want it, and then use your clear packaging tape to place a piece of tape on the inside and the outside, and it should hold pretty well. So once you made all of your flying keys, I used some fishing line because when it's hanging up, it looks pretty much invisible and it looks like they're actually floating, and it's really cool. So I used some tape to just hang those on the windowsill of my dorm room, and that's it. They look super cool. You can even bend one of the wings to have it like the broken one. I don't know, I think these are adorable and really cool. So I really hope that you enjoyed that video. If you did, again, make sure to subscribe and give this video a like. And in addition to the previous question, you can also comment some video ideas that you'd like to see throughout the year of 2019. I do have a lot of videos planned and in the works, but it's so difficult to film while I'm living in a dorm room, especially making DIY videos, because I can only make them during certain days after class when I don't have homework, and I have like such a small space. So that's why DIY videos haven't been as frequent on my channel, because they're very difficult to film in my current situation. But definitely during the summer I will film as much as I can. Make sure to turn on post notifications, and also if you want to be extra sure that you're going to hear when I post my videos, make sure to follow me on social media at Instagram, JESSHERS, or Twitter, JESS_hers. I've heard so many stories from you guys saying that you don't hear when I post videos because YouTube doesn't even put them in your subscription feed, and I'm really tired of YouTube doing that. I wish they'd stop. And it's really disappointing when people don't get to see my videos because YouTube doesn't recommend it to them. So if you want to stay updated, I always post when I upload a new video on those two platforms, as well as the YouTube community tab, which you can stay active by voting on which video you'd like to see next. This video won by like a landslide when I did a poll, so that's why it's coming to you now. So yes, direct input into what I upload. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later, and bye!